Hello, cinephiles, movie lovers, and everybody in between. Welcome to another episode of Dr. M. Shroom's movie reviews. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all of you that subscribed, watched, shared, liked my last review on The Usual Suspects. I appreciate that. Just keep that coming. I'm so excited for what I'm going to bring you today. It's a movie that I had only seen parts of before last week. I don't know why. I usually watch any kind of movie that kind of comes across my feed, and I've seen it and heard it talked about 1,000 times, just never took the time to watch it. But I finally did, and I'm glad I did because by now, I've watched it 4 times since last Thursday. Because I am going to do a review on it mostly, but also because I just enjoyed the movie. But I tried to do a short review on this, and it just was not possible. There's so many facets to this movie. This is a movie where two films collide and decide to keep on driving, and it doesn't hit from the beginning to the end scene. The first second until the credits roll, it is perfect. You never want to take your eyes off the screen. You're never bored. There's no boring dialogue for character development or anything like that. You see George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino himself in this movie. It's called From Dusk Till Dawn. I apologize if from at points in this review I will say From Dawn Till Dusk because that just rolls off the tongue easier. But it's From Dusk Till Dawn from 1996, directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Kurtzman. Uh, I have my notebook here because there's a lot of characters that I have to go through about just the cast that's in this. It's a great cast. It's an odd cast to put together, but here we go. It's George Clooney playing Seth Gecko, who is the main character and a criminal, the dangerously calculated criminal, the one that actually has a level head. And then there's of course there's Harvey Keitel, who, if you've watched Pulp Fiction, you'll see him as the Wolf. Quentin Tarantino likes to work with a lot of the same people, so he's also in this as Jacob Fuller, one of the hostages taken by Seth and Richard Gecko. Juliette Lewis is Kate Fuller, Jacob's daughter, along with the son Scott, who is played by Ernest Liu. Salma Hayek, oh, thank God she's in this movie. Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong, like Tommy Chong, and Cheech Marin. He plays 3 separate characters that are not the same. Like, they're separate characters. Like I said, he plays a border guard. He plays a kind of a bouncer host at a strip bar named Chet Pussy, and he also plays Carlos, who is just a Mexican that criminals are doing drug deals with. It apparently is drug deals. He just gives them money, basically. It also has Danny Trejo as Razor Charlie, Tom Savini as Sex Machine, and Fred Williamson as Frost. Now, a lot of these characters they're cannon fodder. I mean, they're just people that maybe live, maybe die. They're there to make the movie more interesting than just the 2 main characters. Harvey Keitel, like Jake Fuller, Kate Fuller, and Scott Fuller, they're all hostages taken by Seth and Richard Gecko. Richard Gecko is the younger brother of Seth Gecko, played by George Clooney. Richard Gecko is played by Quentin Tarantino himself. He's a walking, talking, pulse-having HR violation. He's just a terrible, terrible criminal with a touch of pedophilia, which kind of freaks out a little bit. The way he's looking at Kate Fuller, I do not approve of, and in any way, form, or fashion. But like I said, from the first moment to the last rolling credits, it's just nonstop. You never want to look away from the screen. So just watch this first little scene from the first act, and I'll be right back.
Hey, Earl.
Yes, sir.
What do you know?
Well, it's a hot guy.
That little girl, or yourself, or your bosom buddy with the badge. Now, I don't want to do it, but I will turn this place into the fucking Wild Bunch if I think that you are fucking with me.
What do you want from me? I did what you said.
You let him use the bathroom. No store does that.
He comes in here every day and we bullshit. He's used my toilet 1,000 times. If I told him no, he'd know something was up.
I want him out of here in his car and down the road, or you can change the name of this place to Benny's World of Blood. Were you giving that pig signals?
Are you kidding? I didn't do anything.
The way he looked at us, you especially, I knew he knew. Low profile. You understand the meaning of the words low profile? Hey, Richie, how's your hand? It hurts like a fucking son of a bitch. Let me tell you what low profile is not.
It is not taking girls hostage. It is not shooting police. It is not setting fire to a building.
So at first, this movie really looks like a crime thriller. It's not. It's like the writers wrote the first half as a crime thriller, got bored, took acid, and then wrote the rest. It doesn't make any sense why these two movies work, but they did. It has everything from crime, shootings, gore, some actually pretty good dialogue, to a crazy bar scene, to vampires. Shit gets weird. Real weird, real fast. It really starts to evolve rapidly. Basically, though, these two brothers, Seth Gecko was in jail. Richard Gecko broke him out, and they're on the run now from the FBI and the Texas Rangers across the Texas desert. Basically, their philosophy is head south until you reach Mexico and hope the consequences don't have passports. Doesn't really work that way, but I mean that's their idea. So they take a family hostage: Jacob Fuller, Kate Fuller, and Scott, who are on just like vacation. Jacob used to be a Baptist minister who lost his wife, kind of lost his way, and left the ministry completely. So there's some dialogue about that that's really interesting. They get into Mexico, and they end up at a strip club called the Titty Twister. This place screams glass full of health code violations with a venereal disease chaser. It is the craziest bar scene I've ever seen, and you see Cheech Marin out front at about dusk when this place opens, just hyping everybody up for the bar that he's about to open the doors behind him. Watch this scene, and I think he was really in a bet with how many times he could say the word pussy in about a minute. Here you go.
We're slashing pussy in half. Give us an offer on our best selection of pussy. This is a pussy blowout. All right, we got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, yellow pussy. We got hot pussy, cold pussy. We got wet pussy. We got smelly pussy. We got hairy pussy, bloody pussy. We got snapping pussy. We got silk pussy, velvet pussy, nalga hide pussy. We even got horse pussy, dog pussy. Chicken pussy, come on, you want pussy? Come on in, pussy lovers. If we don't got it, you don't want it. Come on in, pussy.
Now that we've seen that bonkers scene that scared every respectable woman in the vicinity away from this review, they start to go into the bar. It's, I know, strip club shit happens. You know, guys drinking, guys fighting, the not so occasional titty shot and strippers dancing. But who's complaining? That happens for about 7 minutes, 10 minutes at best. And then shit gets weird, really weird. Some completely unrelated stuff happens. Razor Charlie gets up and starts to introduce the featured dancer for the night. Like she's like the crown jewel of this titty bar. And it's played by Salma Hayek. Her dancer name is Pandemonium, which is very fitting for this movie and for this part in general. She comes out, snake wrapped around her, you know, just in almost nothing. And there's a scene that she does when she starts dancing on the table in front of Seth and Richie Gecko that I want to take apart a moment and say what genius Quentin Tarantino had in this, because Salma Hayek, as she's dancing, takes a tequila bottle and pours it down her bare leg and onto her foot and into Richie Gecko's mouth. You have to understand, Quentin Tarantino wrote this scene, saw how hot Salma Hayek was, and then wrote himself into that scene to take that shot off of her leg and off of her foot. That's legend behavior, gentlemen. It just is. For those of you who do not know or are not familiar with Salma Hayek, she is what Sydney Sweeney or Margot Robbie is today, just the absolute heartbreaker of Hollywood at this time. She's still kind of the heartbreaker of Hollywood, just she's not at the forefront anymore, just because of, how age works. After this scene, though, there's a part where she kind of starts to talk a little funny, and then she kind of does this little weird tilt, and she starts to change into a creature, and not a pretty creature or not anything that is like in Harry Potter. She looks like a melted candle with eyes and some really bad anger issues. And then everybody kind of starts to change. Anybody that works in that bar, anybody that's been at that bar for a while, the band. I mean, it looks like the people that go way too hard at a Halloween party. That's everybody in this place. Like, the band there is playing instruments made of body parts. I mean, if there was ever like a body or gore horror, this is it. Not that scary, but the costumes are so bad that they became iconic. Do you know how bad the costumes have to be for them to be bad when you see them and then love them and get a cult following to it because it's so terrible? I mean, there's only a couple movies in history that have done something like that, been so bad it has a cult following. Go ahead and watch this scene. I'm going to show it to you with Salma Hayek in it, and I'm going to show you turn into the creature of, I don't even want to call it a creature of the night. It's just a burnt candle with eyes. Okay, if you're still attracted to Salma Hayek after that, you got a little bit of issues, man. After this, it really just turns into complete chaos. They're fighting just to stay alive. Seth Gecko's actually really good. You meet Sex Machine. You've got to see his primary weapon. It's something to behold. A guy named Frost, played by Fred Williamson, is really just fodder. He doesn't really have an interesting character. I know that he says that he was in Vietnam, but I mean, it was just, he didn't add much. I don't really know why he was there, except for he was just fodder for the machine. Now, some of the fighting in this, when they're fighting against the vampires, is very good cinematography. There's another part that's not very good cinematography. Like, there's a part where Jacob Fuller gets thrown into a bar and crashes down on the floor. And whenever you see him fall on the floor behind the bar, you can actually see the pad just that he lands on just for a second. And to me, that can't be missed by a director or a cinematographer. Like, it was shoddy work. And that part, I think they were focused more on the makeup and making you look at other things, and just wanted to do a lot of these scenes in one take.
Vampire killers. Let's kill some vampires.
actually went way over the time that I wanted to. I'm going to break this into 2 parts. This is the end of part 1. I'm going to probably start recording the other part tomorrow, which is April 3rd. I'll have it done by over the weekend, so I'm not going to make you wait another week just for the second part of this one. I'm actually going to release 2 next week. I've already got the movie picked out and everything. So if you would just go ahead and hit subscribe, like, share, follow. I'm also on Instagram. If you would just do that for me and we can keep this rolling, I appreciate it. Dr. Shroom, out.